Here it is, coming up tonight on tonight's news. Tonight, Chantel and Preston kidnapped, no one cares. Cliff Richard finally found living in Cress. And where now for man addicted to Fern Britain? Sit up and listen! Hello. Die-hard movie star Bruce Willis became enraged by British TV stars Ant and Dec's questions that he attacked them both in a savage display of violence today. The lovable but highly annoying duo enraged the Hollywood star by asking him, "How do you feel about your missus going off with a lad much younger than you and having his beard like?" Willis was already riled by the pair's attempt at humour and clearly fell flat. The well-known difference between British and American humour clearly took on a violent turn yesterday. Willis was hauled off Ant and Dec after lunging at them both. It took 25 members of the crew to calm the actor down. Bruce Willis was then escorted off the premises in order to ensure the safety of Ant and Dec. The two stars were then taken to hospital where they were treated for various injuries, including a black eye for Ant and a broken nose for Dec. Whilst leaving St Ozzie Hospital yesterday evening, we managed to ask the pair if they intended on pressing charges against Mr Willis. An emotional Ant, trying hard to speak through a swollen mouth and broken teeth, stated, "Why, aye, man, we don't know yet, like. I suppose we might. He was my favourite movie star until today, man. I had all his videos and that." The Geordie pair were then promptly whisked away in their car in order to rest and recuperate at the home that they decorated and shared together. Our investigator contacted Mr Willis's manager in order to get a statement from the movie star. Willis had given his manager a statement to read to all members of the press. Depending on Ant and Dec's popularity, Willis has neither made himself an enemy of the British public or a much-welcomed hero. American President George W. Bush embarrassed the Queen at the White House in front of a packed audience. His speech started well, saying, "It's a real pleasure to have the Queen here in America," but rapidly went downhill with, "I was upset when you did your farewell tour in 1991. The Queen gave Mr Bush a look only a mother could give to a stupid child that she's deeply ashamed of. But he went on, "My personal favourite is fat-bottomed girls." Mr Bush's ignorance reached new heights when he said, "I'm pleased to see that reports of your death have been widely exaggerated." White House officials looked very, very uneasy as the President made one gaffe after another. He added insult to injury by saying, "And I'm sure glad you lost that 1970s-style moustache. It just made you look so gay." The Queen kept her composure as Bush made a total prat of himself. "Where's the fella with the big frizzy hairdo? My wife loves him. He fits in real well in Texas. Hell, since Dolly Parton modelled her hair on that guy, her career took right off." He finished his speech by saying, "I bet you have no idea how popular you guys are in San Francisco." The Queen rolled her eyes to the heavens as Bush tried to get the crowd to join in with a chorus of Radio Gaga. A reporter overheard one of the Queen's SAS bodyguards offer to shoot the President, but he was intercepted by the CIA, who said, "That's our job." A source inside the White House said that in honour of the Queen's visit, the President saved his best farts joke for their white tie state dinner. The President's mother, Barbara Bush, in attendance, apologised afterwards to Her Majesty and said that she had hoped her son would behave himself. "He's a good boy, but sometimes I have to separate him from other boys," said Mrs Bush. "I think Carl and Dick are a bad influence." At the state dining room brimmed with white roses, vermeil centrepieces and pearl-handled flatware, the Queen replied tartly, "Then give him a time-out. Flatulent humour is not my cup of tea." Since no one would repeat the joke, it's said that the producers of The Aristocrats are already working on a documentary about it and will interview many of the state dinner attendees. And that's it. Just enough time tonight to show you a picture of Jade Goody. And remember, don't have nightmares. Good night, my children.